no se curra porque está la barrera del hielo que nos han puesto. O sea, allí hay icebergs y en teoría pues si vamos hacia allí pues mal. En teoría así pues evitamos la zona de icebergs pero claro, eso hace que no podemos ir a lo que queremos. Y ahora estamos ahí con un rumbo un poco forzado. Y bueno, dentro de 4 horas ya podemos bajar hacia el sur y ya es la bajada, ya llamamos el tobogán, que es una bajada ya hasta el Cabo de Hornos, de 1500 millas, no sé. Ya está. Y se acabará al sur. Y no se rompa nada. ¡Ay!
So the range of the Barcelona World Race just now, seeing Spirit of Hungary in New Zealand, Gemini Pujala 650 miles off the coast of Argentina and still in strong winds. Gaius Centros Auditivus and Neutrogena approaching Cape Horn. A good trajectory, should be there tonight and first thing tomorrow morning. One Planet, One Ocean and We Are Water still on the edge of this high pressure, starting to break out. Renault Captur upwind on the edge of the low pressure. This is of course yesterday, and Spirit of Hungary there undergoing repairs in Invercargill or Bluff in New Zealand. So they're seeing Gemini Pujala in this strong southwesterly airstream and the approach of the two boats to Cape Horn tonight. Friday the 27th of February and Neutrogena and Gaius closing into Cape Horn. Gemini Pujala leading by 1,067 miles, a small gain for Neutrogena relative to Gemini Pujala. Gemini Pujala has been slowed by big waves, nasty conditions, but making 16.8 knots this morning. Neutrogena making 19.6, spearing towards Cape Horn. Gaius Centros Auditivus a little bit slower at 18.6. We Are Water 12.3. One Planet, One Ocean Pharmaton 11.3. So the gains now to the Garcia brothers. Renault Captur starting to make some good speeds downwind. 14.6 knots, made 251 miles, so not a great distance upwind yesterday for Renault Captur, and Spirit of Hungary still ready to go in New Zealand.
Well, it has been a fast performance in different times and as well as different times in the history of sailing. So it's the first time I sailed around the world in '89 where it was completely different. We were a bunch of friends, almost non-professionals sailing around the world, and was for us was a big thing to pass around. Then during the last years, the past few times, each time the sailing is more professional, but the Cape is still the same thing, you know, for all the sailors. Doesn't matter if it's the beginning of the age when you're sailing or when you're more professional. It's always a special moment to go around this Cape. That means you're leaving the Southern Ocean, you're leaving the nights we never finish with few waves, windy, more stress, more worries. Around the Cape Horn means the beginning of the way to go back home, to approaching the finish line, to go for lighter, better temperatures, to better conditions, and but it's always a good moment to go around because not too many people can do it. You don't do it too many times in your life, and always is a special moment to leave this game on board.
So such an important stage of the race, very emotional times I think this weekend for both Gaius Centros Auditivos and for Neutrogena as they round Cape Horn. Should be Neutrogena round sometime after midnight and before 6 o'clock in the morning UTC, and round about 6 hours behind Ana Corbea and Gerard Moran on Gaius Centros Auditivos. Of course, the special moments for both Guillermo and for Jose. Jose, the first Chilean to sail round Cape Horn in a race, and he achieved that during the Global Ocean Race with his mentor, his friend, his co-skipper Felipe Cabillos, who unfortunately perished in an aircraft accident some years later, and he will be really foremost, I think, in the mind of Jose as he goes round Cape Horn tomorrow. And he said he intends to share it with the Chilean people as much as possible. The Chilean Navy are, of course, on hand, and he will speak with the Chilean media, I'm quite sure. And also a special moment for Guillermo. It's his 10th passage, but he said every single one is different, and they're all just as meaningful as the first time when he went round in 1989. And of course, Ana Corbea and Gerard Moran. Well, Ana was the first Spanish woman to sail round Cape Horn. This will be her second time, and that will be the second time in the Barcelona World Race, and the second time also for Gerard. But what a transition for Ana and for Gerard since their first edition of their Barcelona race 4 years ago. Both sailing at different levels then, but they've really made a quantum leap in ability, and to be rounding in third place this time round will be a very special moment for them as well as for the guys on Neutrogena.
C'est toujours un peu machine à laver, là on est dans la traîne de la dépression. On a gardé tout dans le fort encore un moment là. Cette nuit on a eu le vent le plus fort qu'on a eu depuis le début de la course là, donc c'est Cap Horn et puis qu'il fait chaud quoi, mais c'est pas tout à fait ça quoi. Déjà l'Amérique du Sud elle n'arrête pas les dépressions hein. Là on a 45 nœuds de vent, le bateau fait des pointes à pas loin de 30 nœuds et puis il s'arrête dans la vague. Après il y a le long du Brésil, il y a des dépressions qui s'énervent quoi, et puis après on arrive dans des régimes un peu plus légers quoi, mais c'est sûr que c'est pas facile. Je le dis depuis longtemps, hein, pour moi c'est la partie la plus compliquée du trajet quoi. Le bateau ils ont 2 tiers de la course dans les gencives quoi, donc c'est le matériel qui commence à fatiguer. On croit que c'est fini quoi, mais c'est pas du tout fini quoi. Voilà, c'est simplement ça quoi. Je sais pas, mais c'est sûr que là on a accroché un flux qui est devant qui nous permet d'avancer. On a du mal à faire de la vitesse parce que la mer est vraiment grosse.
So Shemini Pujola, a good leader, making good speeds again. They had a difficult night. Bernard Stam told us this morning that they saw as much wind as they've seen over the course of the whole race so far, so almost 50 knots at times, but with very, very big seas, very angry crossed seas, and so they had to throttle back. They had to take the foot off the accelerator and slow down a little bit back to 13, 14 knots just to preserve the boat as best they can just now. Obviously, although they're out of the south, it's really, conditions can still be very, very nasty, as both these two very experienced skippers know. Bernard was saying that it's always a little bit like a washing machine just now. They're really in the low pressure system. They're behind the front. The front is where the flatter water is, and behind the front then the water is much more crossed and very difficult to sail in. And he said the South Atlantic is rarely easy. The South American peninsula doesn't stop depressions. Indeed, it tends to confuse them a little bit more, and the breezes tend to be much more unsettled and changeable than in the south. He reminds us that he's still in the 50s, or the regime of the 50s and the 40s, so it's still a proper Southern Ocean regime, and the boat is tired and they are tired, so it's much, much better to slow down a little bit and just preserve themselves. They have this lead of 1,097 miles, but he said there's a belief that the worst of things are over once you get round Cape Horn. But the reminder came last night with these strong, strong winds for Shemini Pujola, but still going pretty well, going fast and keeping that lead really much the same, round about 1,100 miles.
had a very busy day. We have done a lot of job what we wanted to do. We finished the mast. We lifted the boat and changed the points of the keel. We could make it very well. We made a very nice job. We had a good, nice help from the local people here in the South Port. And now the boat back in the water, the keel is perfect, the boats are perfect, doesn't leak, no water in the boat. I'm very happy. It's the first time in my life when I put the boat in the water and not a drop of water comes in. We are going to start sometime with exactly, I don't know what time, sometime. So this is the program. Everything we have done, what we wanted. The jobs are good, quality good, and I'm really happy with the boat. Now we go back and we'll be safe. We have a very short team. Our short crew is ourselves, me, Conrad, and Conrad's uncle. Gray, the uncle, is running up and down, gets all the pieces what we need, bring some food. Supplies us, and two of us we are working. At the 2 days lift, we had some help from the local people, the crane man, and someone came to help us with the forklift. Basically, we are two of us. Day and night we are working with Conrad.
Good morning, everybody. Today we are the 27th of February, and Chamonix-Pujula race leaders are still heading northeast in the Atlantic. So let's have a look on the situation. Chamonix-Pujula is sailing just on the northwest of a low pressure located on South Georgia. So that means they have southwesterly winds between 30 to 35 knots of wind, and heading east, and perhaps they're gonna enjoy this wind in order to move away from a high pressure located around Buenos Aires. For the following boats, Gaius and Neutrogena, they are 320 miles away from the Cape Horn for Neutrogena. They are having northwesterly winds, and they are just behind a ridge located just south of Cape Horn. So they are west of this ridge, and they are having 20 to 25 knots of wind coming from the northwest. And they should arrive at Cape Horn this night, so that means between 3 a.m. UTC until midday for Gaius. And let's have a look on the weather situation when they will arrive on the Cape Horn. That's the situation this night when Neutrogena should arrive around Cape Horn. So the wind is going to pass west to southwest 30 knots. So they will have lots of wind, and they are going to do more or less the same thing than Pujula. That means a jibe just after passing the longitude of Cape Horn. For the other boats, we have We Are Water and One Planet, One Ocean just behind a big ridge located on their east, and they are southeast of the low pressure, so they are having northeasterly breeze, and they are still sailing upwind in 20 knots of wind. Concerning Renault Capture, they are now in the north of the center of the low pressure, and the wind is now blowing 20 to 25 knots of wind coming from the west. And during the day, the low pressure is going to dive southeast, so for the boat it's going to be easier and easier to go also southeast. For Spirit of Hungary, who should leave the harbor this afternoon, the situation is not very easy because we still have a high pressure located at the east of New Zealand, and this high pressure brings them very, very light southeasterly breeze. So if they leave as planned this afternoon, they will have to sail upwind in light breeze during the first 24 hours.
Bon dia, avui és 25 de febrer, estem al mig del Pacífic i estem al mig de la Moscal. Fa bon dia, i dic que fa bon dia perquè aquests dies estava tapat, portem 3 dies de bruma i avui ha despejat perquè s'acaba el vent i comença un règim de borrasques. I aquí està el Willy, preparat per fer reparacions del dia.
Fem feinetes aquí, canviant alguns caps que estan gastats i així aprofitem aquestes bones condicions per explicar-los.
Molt bé, des d'aquí We Are Water, Pacífic, febrer 2015. Adéu!